Welcome to my home garage. Today we got a 2014 BMW 328i xDrive F30 platform. We're doing the front pads and rotors, and we're going to show you the proper way to do it on a BMW. Let's get at it. Step 2. Remove the anti-squeal clips. Now you can remove the caliper bolts. Remove the dust caps off the slider pins. One. There's one down here as well. 2. Get yourself an 8mm hex 3/8 with a 3/8 ratchet, and you're going to loosen off. You may need to push the pins in. So it's simple. Just push the pins in. And if the pads are stuck in there, you may need to pry this out. And there you go. Okay. Now that you have that removed, you can take your brake pads out. Do yourself a favor. Leave this brake pad in here. I'll show you why in a second. Get yourself a brake pad depressor and or a C-clamp. So I'll show you both options. Get yourself a clamp like so, like this. Make sure you keep the tension off of the rubber hose, so make sure it's not hanging. I'm just going to put this in like so. Okay. You just wind it. And you use the old brake pad as the pressing surface. And you'll push that piston back in. Okay. Once you've bottomed out, you've reached the end. Remove your brake pad. Next, you'll get yourself a bungee cord, and you go to the top of the spring, hook on the spring, and all you want to do is support this caliper while you're working. Okay, so just go through here, okay, and loop it back up, and hook it back on your spring. And that's it. You just want to get the weight off of the cord. Take a look. It's just supported there. So now it's free to do whatever. So our next step is removing the caliper brackets. Get yourself an 18mm socket so you can loosen these bolts up. I like to loosen them by hand, and then I can use the gun. There's your bracket. We will be cleaning the bracket. Next step, we'll be removing the brake rotor retaining screw, which is a 6mm. And this may spin. So you hold the rotor with your hand. Your rotor's out. Once your rotor's out, we can begin the process of cleaning the surface area before we install our new brake. So we'll do that now. Here's our bracket. Anywhere you see that red rust, that's a contact point. We have to clean all our contact points. Okay? First, we're going to hit it with the brake clean. And because we didn't have any seized pads, we don't need to take any material off. We just got to clean what was there. So we don't want to use anything too abrasive. So just a metal brush, just to clean off some of those surfaces right there. Make sure they're smooth. And that is where we will apply our brake compound. Or a little bit there. So if we have any situation where it's a little high, like that, I just come in with the non-abrasive pad. Clean hands. With clean hands, get your new brake rotor. Just clean it off and then wipe it down. Line up your brake disc with a retaining hole. 6mm Allen hex. Don't touch the brake rotor surface. The torque on this screw is 16 Newton meters. That is sufficient. Grab your now clean caliper bracket. Reinstall. Torque on the caliper bracket bolts is 110 Newton meters. Or 81 foot-pounds. Here are your new brake pads. Akibono brake pads. These are the best brake pads you can get for BMW. So the first brake pad, this area here, right here where it's rusty, clean that up because you're going to add some compound there. Grab some disc compound, the same stuff you're using for the brake pad, brake paste. This is your inside brake pad, the one that goes on the caliper side. Same thing. Any contact point, you're going to lubricate. Okay? Contact points. Okay? Slide in here. Make sure your fingers are clean. Push that pad in. Grab your outside brake pad. Same idea. Contact points. So I believe this is going to be a contact point, right? So you want to lubricate this part of the caliper on this side because that's going to hit here. That is going to touch this section. So you want to make sure that it's lubricated. Pads are good. Slide it in. There we go. And now you're going to get your slider pins in, which you do not lubricate. You only clean. Do not lubricate your slider pins. Get your slider pin started. Get your slider pin started by hand. Use a little ratchet. Then we'll torque them. The torque for your caliper slider pins that attach to your bracket are 20 foot-pounds or 28 Newton meters. 1, 2, double check. Okay, you're good. Grab your dust protectors that go in the back. Cover the caps where the Allen slider pin bolts go. Okay. The last piece you have to put is this anti-BMW squeal piece. So first thing I'm going to do is tidy it up. Remember, this also has contact points. So that's a contact point. And that's a contact point. And there. Right there. And right there. So now you can see the contact points of this. And it goes on like so. And there you have it. That's it. So now we'll do the other side. Once we do the other side, we'll depress the brake to bring the piston and squeeze it tight. So now you just double check everything. Sure everything's tight, good. Now we're gonna move on to the other side. Okay, so now that we are on the driver's side, the only difference is that there is a brake pad sensor installed here. So the only thing we're gonna have to do is disconnect the brake pad sensor and install a new one. So what we have here is, take this off. See the brake pad sensor comes in through here. Just follow it. Just comes out. Okay, and it lives inside this box back here. Right here. So once you see this box, it'll have clips that you can remove. Here's your box. Okay, and here is your brake pad sensor. It lives on the right side. The opposite side is your ABS sensor. So what you want to do is disconnect it from here. Once you have it out, you can actually depress. And there's your brake pad sensor. So we're going to leave it here and leave this like this until we finish all the brakes and install the new brake pad with a new sensor. Okay, so here we go again. I'm going to do this quick. depress the pedal, but not all the way to the floor. Just slowly until it's hard. Alright guys, thanks for watching My Home Garage. We're finally done the front brakes on this 2014 BMW 328 Xi. Any F30 front brakes minus the Brembo Blues that BMWs come with that are dual piston. This is the procedure for it. So just remember where to lubricate and where not to lubricate, especially those slider pins. Do not put any silicone or any grease on those slider pins. It's not advised by BMW. All right, guys, have a nice weekend. Have a nice day. See you later.